Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. The governor could soon be heading to Victoria with a pen in hand. The bill to move UHV into the Texas A&M system is nearing the finish line. Phones surrendered, signal jammers activated, oaths of secrecy sworn. The extraordinary security measures underway as Cardinals prepare to elect a new pope. Plus, tired of airport delays? Well, help could be on the way. The major overhaul coming to our nation's air traffic control system.
And that humongous low pressure system we were talking about the last few days is officially coming off the mountains right now, bringing us our chances for severe weather next 48 hours. All that in the weather coming up.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. Is it our second Tuesday of May now?
It is. Ooh, actually, that's a good. No, it is not.
It's
the 6th day of May. If it was the 7th day, it would be.
So it's the first Tuesday.
That's right. I think it would be the Wednesday is the second Wednesday of the month because it's the 7th day.
That's right, Parker. And we've got a lot to watch out for.
That's right. For the 6th and 7th day of May, we've got some interesting weather that would like y'all to please stay weather aware, which we're all going to look at later on Sunrise, because first things first, if you're tuning in with us this morning, we've got to talk about the warmth and humidity out there right now. It is 77 degrees to start out the day, very nice and warm, but the humidity, woo-wee, the dew point is 75 right now, y'all. That's bringing humidity to 94% here in Victoria. And if you tuned in with me just like a few moments ago, I was telling you that the dew point is like 78 or 78. That's the dew point, not the air temperature. Right now in Port Lavaca, that is extremely humid. If I were y'all, if you have any like long, maybe some thin hair, go ahead and put some hairspray on that hair on the hairdo for today. But looking at your radar, it is humid out there, and it's actually so humid that the radar beam is refracting into the cloud. This is not rain. This is low-level cloud cover. But what is rain is out to our northwest. You can see we have a severe thunderstorm warning that was recently issued northwest of San Antonio, and we've also got another line of strong storms that is west of that, both of which will be coming our way as we go into overnight tonight, maybe a little bit this afternoon, and into tomorrow afternoon as well, which we'll look at later on Sunrise. Because if you're sitting your kids at the door this morning, it's going to be just like it is right now, plenty warm, plenty humid, and cloudy as well. But in the afternoon, it's going to be the very same, and maybe a little bit warm and also breezy. All those details coming up next.
The push to move UHV into the Texas A&M system is gaining ground. House Bill 5150 passed a second reading Monday. The final House vote is expected today. The Senate has already approved the plan. If it clears the House, it heads to Governor Abbott, who's been asked to sign it here in Victoria. If signed, the transfer would start June 1st and be finalized by September. Victoria City Council meets at 5 p.m. today. Members will review changes to fire department fees, specifically for crowd management at events. They'll also hear a proclamation from Mayor Dwayne Crocker recognizing National Salvation Army Week. City Manager Jesus Garza will present pay and benefits for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. The meeting takes place at Wan Lin and Main Street. All eyes will soon be on the Sistine Chapel, watching for that iconic white smoke. The conclave to select the next pope begins tomorrow.
With just hours to go until the conclave begins, this morning the Sistine Chapel on lockdown as the Cardinals prepare to hunker down to elect a new pope. Everyone at the conclave, from the cleaners and cooks to the drivers and elevator operators, taking an oath of secrecy about the process that lies ahead. The punishment for breaking that oath: automatic excommunication.
How is the preparation going for the conclave?
As the Holy Spirit leads us.
Will it be positive? Will it be quick?
We won't know. We need to listen to the Holy Spirit.
The Cardinals selecting the new pope will take their secrecy oath tomorrow and will give up their phones today, not getting them back until after the conclave ends. The Vatican also plans to use signal jamming around the Sistine Chapel and the residences to prevent electronic surveillance or communication outside the conclave. Topping the list of possible contenders, Italian Cardinals Zuppi and Parolin, who are both close to Pope Francis, Philippines Cardinal Tagle, as well as conservative Hungarian Cardinal Erdo.
I wouldn't be surprised if it would be an African or Asian cardinal, because somehow that's where the church is more alive, more dynamic.
Whatever the outcome, Canadian Cardinal Cherney is urging the faithful not to worry.
I know there's reasons maybe to feel a bit anxious, but there's no reason for anxiety. pray and be hopeful. And when we discover who is the new Holy Father, let's all rally to help him.
It's still unclear how long this conclave will go on for. One cardinal telling me he thinks this conclave will be on the longer side because the cardinals still need more time to get to know each other. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Rome.
Big changes are coming to air traffic control. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the DOT will unveil a plan Thursday to modernize the outdated system, aiming to cut delays like the recent backups at Newark Airport. He also referenced an April 28th incident where a communications failure left Newark controllers unable to contact planes. 5 staff members later went on leave due to trauma. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is 6:36 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A hometown talent making waves in Hollywood, the local connection to this national honor next.
The president is trying to accelerate his mass deportation plan by offering money and a plane ticket to those who self-deport. I'm Christiane Cordero in Washington with the details coming up.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, will you see any lightning today? Will you see hail? Will you see a tornado? Find out which one you'll see coming up after the break. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. I'm sure you've been talking about the severe weather chances for us here in the Crossroads, but not just for today, y'all. Get ready for it again tomorrow for Wednesday afternoon as well. That's going to encompass all counties, and the time frame is going to be from this afternoon through Wednesday, through Wednesday afternoon, not and at Wednesday afternoon, meaning that we could have some more chances for overnight tonight and into early Wednesday morning as well, which we'll look at here in a second, because large hail is what you could expect, maybe up to 1.5 inches, maybe even up to 2 inches, especially in our northern counties. Could see that higher hail risk. Damaging winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour at times is possible. Heavy rainfall for sure. Any of the heavier thunderstorms, that's possible. And also a very slight tornado risk will be possible for some of us. Also, especially in our northern counties where there's a little bit more wind shear in the upper atmosphere. But before we get there, you can see right now in Cuero, we're nice and cloudy, also quite warm and also quite humid because the dew point is 72, which is the air temperature right now, which is why we have basically 100% humidity, which would allow for a little bit of light patchy fog. And you actually did see back on the camera right in the background, there was a little bit of that light patchy fog. So please be careful if you're traveling on the roads this morning. Otherwise, if you see any fog, that'll burn off just like it usually does between 8 to 8:30 down to the cloudy overcast skies like we have right now. And then that will also be in the decrease down to some mostly sunny skies for later this afternoon. Also in the morning, we may have a slight 20% chance of a spotty shower or light sprinkle or two in the morning time, because going into the afternoon time, that'll transition to the chance of an isolated 1 or 2 thunderstorms somewhere around the area, with chances probably about 20 to 30% in the afternoon time today before the sunshine comes out, and that's going to heat itself up a little bit. But if anything does develop this afternoon, it could be severe with, like I said, a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for us today in our northern counties. So please stay weather aware for today, but tomorrow too, and we'll look at those details coming up next.
President Trump is trying to accelerate his mass deportation plan, now offering a deal to those who self-deport.
This morning, the Trump administration is offering a plane ticket and $1,000 in taxpayer money to immigrants in the U.S. illegally if they sign up to self-deport. Adding those who take the government up on their offer may have an opportunity to legally return to the U.S.
We're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from.
President Trump's proposal is far less than the average $17,000 it costs the government to arrest, detain, and remove someone. The administration says it has deported 150,000 people so far this year, short of the pace the president had promised. Trump blames the slowdown on immigration hearings, a necessary part of due process.
The courts have all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they said, maybe you have to have trials.
Meanwhile, Border czar Tom Homan is praising the president's idea to reopen Alcatraz, the notorious prison on the San Francisco Bay. When it closed in 1963, it was already crumbling, facing steep maintenance costs. And today, Alcatraz is operated by the Park Service and welcomes more than 1 million visitors a year. Any plans to change that face plenty of skepticism.
This is kind of a known feature of Trump. He has a lot of ideas. People will go off and study them, then they'll come back with the facts, and usually it gets dropped at that stage. This has that kind of feeling to me.
Alcatraz, as a tourist attraction and historic site, generates about $60 million in annual revenue. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you agree with Trump's new immigration offer? Okay, it looks like 64% of you say yes, and 35% of you say no, and that just changed to 65% of you saying yes. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. A local filmmaker is making national headlines once again. Anthony Pedoni is a member of the production team behind An American Bombing. This is the second news and documentary Emmy nomination from the team at Blowback Productions. The historical documentary, nominated in the Best Historical Documentary category, recreates the chilling journey of Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh, complete with a 1989 Isuzu modified to match his infamous getaway car. The documentary is currently streaming on Max. Graduation season is here, and we want to help you celebrate the class of 2025. Today we want to say congratulations to Alexis, who is graduating from Victoria West High School. We're so proud of you. Love from your entire family. And we want to say congratulations to Claudia. You finally did it. I'm so proud of you. You're about to close a chapter in the book of life and start a new one. I see a bright future for you. Mom will always be your #1 fan and #1 supporter. Love you to the moon and back. You can submit a photo and a heartfelt message for your grad through June 13th. We'll feature them on air and on social media. Visit our contest page on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Click the entertainment tab, select contest, submit, and show your pride. Just a heads up, we cannot accept professional photos. The time is now 6:43 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come on Sunrise. The hidden fees that add dollars to your ticket purchases are getting a major overhaul. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Leticia. Happy birthday today. We love you. Hope you enjoy your special day and wish you many more.
Oh, happy birthday, Leticia. And also happy birthday to Mary. Happy birthday, beautiful. Have a wonderful day. Love Ray, your son, and your brother, Jamie.
You know him from ER, Ocean's 11, his brief stint as Batman, or maybe even his recent Tony nomination for Good Night and Good Luck. Either way, George Clooney is 64 today.
Oh, happy birthday, George Clooney, and happy anniversary to Handsome Aunt Seppi, to the one that makes my heart beat faster and slower at the same time. Happy anniversary, Handsome. Love you, that's so sweet. And to see your birthday wish or anniversary wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, head on over to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, the time is now 6:44 on our Tuesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right, happy birthday and happy anniversary. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw that 7-day forecast a few moments ago, or you heard me talking about it. We've got severe weather coming our way today, but not just today, tomorrow as well, which is why I've issued another alert day for your day, Weather Wednesday as well, which we'll look at here in a second. And if you're wondering where it's coming from, well, if you tuned in with me last week, we have been talking about this humongous low pressure system, huge low pressure system that is right now over New Mexico, coming off of the mountains in western Texas, which is why it's actually sending a very weak dry line. It's actually sort of an upper level front in the upper atmosphere. You can see it right here, right there in southwestern Texas, right along the Rio Grande, which is spawning up all those thunderstorms in western Texas. But this is a huge system spawning like 1,500 miles wide from coast to coast. And that is going to be bringing us our severe weather chances for the next 48 hours. And that's also going to lead me to today's weather poll. Today, I ask you, how do you normally receive severe weather alerts? And it looks like third of y'all, 33% to be exact, are saying TV or the radio, 8% are saying social media, and 59% majority are saying through a weather app. That could be like, I guess, the Weather Channel or something like that. But I would highly implore y'all to go onto Facebook and get some updates from me. That's going to be at meteorologist Parker Cox. And of course, I thank y'all for voting. Go to crossroadstoday.com/vote-weather to participate, and I will always read your future weather polls in the future for future ones. But you can always go to my Facebook page, like I said, meteorologist Parker Cox, because I do post timely updates on severe weather like I did yesterday afternoon and the afternoon time, which I will likely be posting some updates for maybe today, maybe this afternoon, but more likely tomorrow early morning and also for tomorrow Wednesday afternoon, because that you can see right here, that line of thunderstorms will progress across the state, with some of them being severe. We can see today's bullseye is going to be just north of Houston. We do have that level 2 out of 5 risk in our northern counties for today, but going into tomorrow, it continues. The risk is going to be a level 1 out of 5 for all of our counties in the crossroads. And why is that? Because we are going to have a lot of energy building up over our heads thanks to the heat today. The sun's going to come out, and that's going to warm our western counties to the low 90s. Everyone else in the upper 80s today. And that is going to, like I said, build up a lot of energy over our heads, allowing for some severe thunderstorms possible overnight as well. And we'll look at all that and more later on Sunrise.
The Canadian Prime Minister is in Washington today to meet with President Donald Trump. It's tradition for that country's leader to travel to the U.S. first after being elected. Many observers hope today's meeting will de-escalate trade tensions between the two countries.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney is meeting with President Donald Trump at the White House today. Many investors and business owners on both sides of the border are hoping for a trade deal.
I'm not sure what he wants to see me about, but I guess he wants to make a deal.
Under Trump's executive orders, the U.S. now charges 25% tariffs for importing Canadian steel, aluminum, vehicles, and non-exempt auto parts. That's also true for anything non-compliant with the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. Trump is threatening duties on pharmaceuticals, lumber, and the film industry. He says he doesn't want a trade deficit between the countries.
We don't need their cars. We don't need their lumber. We don't need their energy. We don't need anything.
In response, Canada now charges retaliatory duties on some U.S. exports. Many economists say tariffs are inflationary. They say U.S. businesses that pay them on imports are likely to pass on some or all of the costs to American consumers. That means higher prices.
Most people walking through it are saying this is one part ancient economics, almost a mercantile America, and in another part made up ideas where maybe down the road we'll get some clarity.
Carney is a former central banker who campaigned on standing up to Trump.
America wants our land, our resources, our water, our country. Never.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Those extra charges at checkout may soon be a thing of the past. The Federal Trade Commission is rolling out new rules aimed at eliminating misleading fees. Starting Monday, websites that sell event tickets or book short-term rentals will be required to display the full cost front and center. Businesses will also need to clearly explain what each charge covers and can no longer use vague labels like service fee or processing fee. If it's a fee you have to pay, it must be included in the total price shown. President Trump is considering a 100% tariff on movies made outside the U.S. In a post on Truth Social, he blamed foreign tax incentives for driving productions abroad, saying overseas films are hurting Hollywood. The White House later clarified that no final decision has been made, but options are being explored to make Hollywood great again. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A desperate search continues for a young girl swept away by raging floodwaters. Rescue teams are back out this morning searching for a 10-year-old girl swept away by floodwaters. The search is happening about 75 miles west of Houston with as many as 14 agencies involved. Crews are combing creek banks on the ground while drones scan from above. Overnight storms forced teams to pause, but water rescue efforts resumed this morning. The head of the FCC is calling its investigation into CBS a penalty, not a threat. Brendan Carr discussed the inquiry into 60 Minutes over its October interview with then Vice President Kamala Harris. The FCC is probing whether the program involved news distortion. Carr emphasized the investigation is a penalty under the Communications Act. President Trump wants pharmaceutical companies to produce more drugs in the U.S. He signed an executive order to make it easier for companies to build plants here. The president also plans to address rising drug costs next week following threats of tariffs. Experts warn the move could lead to higher prices and shortages. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is ordering cuts to senior military leadership. In a memo, Hegseth directs the Pentagon to reduce the number of four-star generals and admirals by 20% and cut general officers in the National Guard by 20%. Overall, the military will trim its general and flag officers by 10%. Hegseth says the cuts aim to streamline leadership and eliminate redundancies. A New York man is accused of shooting a DoorDash driver. Chester Highway Superintendent John J. Riley faces felony assault charges. Police say Riley shot the driver in the back after he asked for directions and was leaving Riley's property. Chester is about 50 miles north of New York City. Conservative school board candidates across the state suffered an array of defeats in Saturday's local elections, marking a setback for the GOP-aligned movement to shape how grade school curriculum and library books confront issues of race, sex, and gender. You can read this story by the Texas Tribune on CrossroadsToday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience a new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV, the Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a final look at our forecast with Parker. Parker, are those cloudy skies going to linger on today?
Yeah, it's looking pretty cloudy right now over the coast, isn't it, this morning? And actually, if you look really closely, it does look a little bit foggy out there as well this morning. And if you're wondering why that is, well, let me tell y'all something this morning. It is extremely humid right now. The dew point is 78. That's the dew point. The air temperature is 80. Very nice and warm out there, but let me tell y'all, the dew point is 78. I just went and looked, just double checked. The highest recorded ever, like in history, highest recorded dew point in Corpus Christi was 83 degrees. Just 5 degrees away from that, and it's only May. So very humid this morning. I hope you're all applying some hairspray with that humidity. Otherwise, looking at your radar, we're nice and clear out there. This is not rain. This is actually low-level cloud cover over us. But I think that there's rain that's out to the west that will be coming our way later. We'll look at that in a second because looking very nice and warm out there for all of us this morning. And with a warm morning, it's going to be a warm day. I think 85 at the high in Port Lavaca underneath some breezy winds gusting up to 35 miles an hour at times and clouds clearing to mostly sunny skies. Victoria a bit warmer. I'm thinking 87 today. And in Cuero, a little bit warmer than that. I'm thinking 88 for today. Also the very same thing. A bit breezy and mostly sunny in the afternoon time. But what I was showing you earlier is we have a chance for severe weather, not only tonight, but also like going into early tomorrow morning, but also tomorrow afternoon. This is Wednesday, Wednesday noon time. You can see a little bit of severe weather possible tomorrow afternoon as well. That's why we have an alert day in effect from this afternoon all the way through Wednesday afternoon for all of our counties where y'all can expect some hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall, and also slight tornado risk. So make sure that y'all are please staying weather aware for today and tomorrow, because after the rain and storms are all said and done, we're right back to the sunshine and warm, even 90s.
All right. Well,
Yep.
Thank y'all for being with us this morning. Join Shauna, Dawn, Maclovia, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. In just seconds, it's Good Morning America.